Hey buddies, welcome to yet another player review. Before even starting, I want to say thank you so much for the support on my first ever player review, Cristiano Ronaldo. The amount of likes and views that we got on part 1 and part 2 really showed to me that you guys liked the concept. I do apologize that, the reviews are a bit rough and there's a few mistakes and issues with even my Cristiano Ronaldo review. It's the first one I've ever done, so things will hopefully get better over time. I'm just hoping you guys appreciate the concept and how I want to present a review to you guys. So we'll follow the same concept as we had in my Team of the Year Ronaldo review. We'll do a part 1 and a part 2. Part 1 being a real dissection of the player, maybe the superficial parts of the player, if that makes any sense. So their in-game stats, their price, the way their price has moved over the last week, because as you know, the player that's in this review is Luka Modric. And Luka Modric is still in pack. So I think that's kind of a nice analysis for you guys, is for me to go over how his price has moved. Has it gotten cheaper or has it gone more expensive, which has happened to a few informs. And also covering the player's value. First of all, value in terms of, are they worth the amount of money you're spending? And are they worth it compared to other players in the league in similar price range and maybe in similar stats ranges? Now, before we get into that, if you want to buy Luka Modric or any other player you see in this team, or any other expensive player, and you don't have the coins, make sure to visit my friends at FIFACoinstoday.com. Use Nick at checkout for 10% off of all of your Xbox or PSN coin orders. I'll leave a link in the description below. So let's start off with his in-game stats. As you can see on the screen in front of you now, he has some really, really nice hidden stats and stats that you would expect. Now, in terms of top-rated stats, his vision being at 91, his agility and balance are 98 and 99 respectively. That makes him a fantastic ball carrier, is what I like to describe. So someone that is really good at pivoting and moving while on the ball, even under pressure. Ball control at 93 and long passing at 92 are two things I like a lot. And why I say I like those two specifically is because having great stats like that make Luka, and really this team, very dangerous on the counter. Now, building into that, of course, 94 short passing just makes him incredible for all the triangle passing that I like to do, especially in this Madrid team. I feel like this type of a team, the second I load up against someone, I get all sorts of pressure. People go into try-hard mode. They'll go on ultra-defensive, counterattack, lob, etc., etc. So having 94 short passing helps me out a lot because, again, when the team is a bit bumblesome and they're getting high-pressured all over the field, he's really good at making these quick triangle passes, accepting the ball because of his high ball control, passing it off quickly to Carvajal or Pepe or Isco or Di Maria. It's really nice. I love the short passing on Luka. Now, the three, in my opinion, that are near dark green and what should technically be dark green are his curve, dribbling, and long shots. Both are on the cusp of 90 and both really show. His dribbling and his long shots are to die for, guys. He hammers shots. Now, the mid-70 traits or in-game stats are the stats that I'd like to go over really quickly here, because I feel like this is the type of stat that a lot of people might ignore when thinking of where to put a player in a team. So a lot of people might be looking at the screen right now and be like, why are you using him instead of defensive mid? He has high medium work rates, as you can see on screen. He has great attacking stats, great pace, great long shots, etc. Why are you using at center defensive mid? Well, two reasons. First reason is because I try to build this Madrid team very realistically around how they're being played in real life, so how Carlo Ancelotti uses the team. The second reason is the mid-70 stats that I'm talking about. So 74 aggression, 76 interceptions, 73 standing tackle, and even 75 sprint speed. All of these, mid-70 stats help make him a very good ball-winning midfielder and essentially defensive midfielder. So I love him in this position. Anyone that, uses him at center attacking mid, I don't blame you. He's really good there. I actually tried him in this formation except -4, which basically has two center mids and a center attacking mid. I've used him at center attacking mid. He's incredible as well. But I love him in this center defensive mid role. Just incredible. Now, the second graph we're going to quickly look at is just his overall price and kind of the movement of his price. His card price has shifted very similarly to how most informs shift. So he's dropped gradually. The day you're watching it, he's still in packs, obviously being a Tuesday. And I would recommend to buy him today or tomorrow. So that's usually when I buy informs. That, here's a little trading tip for you. Their cheapest price is usually Monday, Tuesday, and sometimes Wednesday. Now this little graph, again, provided from my friends at ultimatedatabase.nl, may be a little small and maybe a little annoying for you to look at because there's so many stats and so many things to make out. But what you can do is freeze frame it and just have a look at the price comparisons and stat comparisons of all the midfielders essentially in the BBVA that are quote-unquote higher price. And what I wanted to do with this graph, and really all of my player reviews, is to let you judge for yourself, even based on my opinions and comments, is this player worth it? Now, in my opinion, I may be a bit biased, but the inform Modric to me is very much worth it, especially if you're using him in a center attacking mid role where he will influence play even more. But as a center defensive mid, I find the 150 to 200k that you're going to spend on him very much worth it, especially when you compare him to the other players in the BBVA in comparable prices. So have a look at that. When you look at someone like Inform Isco, who is basically 100k cheaper, or, a little bit less than 100k cheaper, and then someone like Inform Cesc Fabregas, who's about 100k more expensive, Modric, in my opinion, beats them both out, both defensively and offensively. Really, the only thing the Inform Cesc Fabregas has over Modric is his shooting stat, which is 4 or 5 over top of Modric, but otherwise, defensively, pace-wise, passing, they're almost identical, 1 or 2 stats apart in every stat. And then you get into the team of the years, Iniesta and Xavi, and yes, for the most part, their stats are quite a bit better, but are they worth the extra, basically 1.2 million coins over Modric? No, not in my opinion. I mean, Modric essentially has the same pace, the same shooting, worse passing by, 5 to 10, worse dribbling by 5 to 10, and their defending is almost the same. So, to pay 1 million to 1.2 million coins more for, 2 Team of the Year cards that have minutely better passing and dribbling than Modric, in my opinion, it is a waste. Now, I always like talking about the overall team as well and how the player affects the overall team. And again, if you want to get the best out of Modric, scoring-wise, assisting-wise, sure, you may want to move him into a center attacking mid-role. You know what? I think he'd be even fantastic as a false 9, in a 4-3-3 false 9 setup. And you also may want to not have this either super powered team or super expensive team around him, because again, it forces your opponents at the loading screen to basically switch their mentality right away when they see your team into, oh my god, I'm going to do everything I can to beat this guy, we'll go on counterattacking, etc., etc. So if you want to have the best out of Luka Modric, and really I'm assuming most people that do player reviews don't use this type of a team for a reason, right? A lot of people that I see doing player reviews will have, let's say, Modric in just a completely sweaty and non-shiny or non-informed team, whether it be a BBVA team or whatever. They do that for 2 reasons again. First of all, so that the opponent doesn't go into ultra sweat mode to try and, get a win, so that they can highlight the player properly. And I feel like the other reason is also so they can, again, trick their opponent into thinking, this guy doesn't really know what he's doing. Maybe he pulled Inform Modric in a pack, and it allows the person that reviews Modric to get goals and etc., etc. So I don't really want to mask the review of him. I want you guys to see my review on Modric based on how I use him in real life. So I don't think it's fair for me to build a cheap team around him like I did around Ronaldo, and I actually kind of regret doing the review of Ronaldo while using a cheaper team, because I feel like I want to show you guys, again, how he is when I'm using a full team and how I'd use him in real life, because the team I used with Ronaldo, I sold the second I was finished with it, because I don't use that team. I just wanted that team to really help me bring out the best in Ronaldo and help my opponents not go ultimate sweat mode on me. So from here on in, that's the one change I'm going to do. I'm just going to do a review on players and really build an awesome team around them and not care too much what my opponents do. And I'd love to see some comments down below. What do you guys think is going to be the strongest part of the Inform Modric for me in part 2? So what do you think you're going to see? Are you guys thinking you're going to see a lot of long shot goals? Do you guys think you're going to see a lot of long passes that are incredibly accurate? Do you think you guys are going to see a lot of short triangle passes? Do you think you're going to see a lot of breakup play and that he's this, incredible center defensive mid that no one would have thought of using? You let me know in the comments below what you think his best traits are going to be in part 2. And yeah, that's really the end of the episode, boys. So if you're excited, give this video a thumbs up, give me a like. The second this video hits 100 likes, just like the Ronaldo video, I'll instantly upload part 2, which is the gameplay. So thank you so much for stopping by. Love you guys. If you haven't subscribed and you're just watching this player review because you're searching for Luka Modric, please consider subscribing to my channel. I'm going to be doing more player reviews as time progresses. Seems like you guys like it. So until next time, we'll catch you on the flip side.